Hi, I'm Nick and I'm Project Coordinator and Artist on the ACE Arts project at the Dusty Forge.
And I'm Becky and we're part of Action Caerau Ely, ACE, and we've been running this project here for about 5 years.
So our ACE Arts project has been running since about 2016. We work with various members of the community, anyone 16 plus, all ages and all abilities, and we work with a person-centred approach, working with all different art mediums, ceramics, textiles, and work closely with the garden project.
So we've been using the ArtWorks quality principles in our project, mostly with conversations amongst the artists and our core team. We've found them really useful at sort of intervals in the project to evaluate sort of what we've been doing so far and make sure that as we plan for the next phase of the project, we're keeping the principles in mind.
So up until now we've been using the quality principles, mainly focusing on sections at a time to plan the projects with our core staff team. But in the future we're hoping to adapt as several of our learners have disabilities and various needs. So we're hoping to simplify and adapt the principles to work more with the community.
So when we started using the quality principles, we realised that a lot of it was very similar to what we were already doing, so we found it really affirming. And in particular, we focused on the people part of the principles. So it's helped us actually to develop our person-led approach to the arts. We now have individual art material boxes for each participant, and they work on their own creative projects, whereas we used to do a lot more group work. So that's been really helpful. We've also learned that it helps to take the principles in small bites. So we've done some evaluations where we just focus on a small area of them and discuss those together rather than trying to tackle the whole thing in one go.
So our top tips for using the quality principles are to plan at the beginning of a project to use them at regular intervals, so we remember when to use them and use them in different situations, and also to sometimes not use them in depth but use them as a tick box exercise just to ensure quality within our work when planning.
And the third tip would be to maybe sometimes take them in bite-sized pieces and to try and work with them creatively. So rather than just a verbal conversation or a written exercise, you could focus on one part of the principles and adapt them to use them with participants and find creative ways of doing that.